Beans and nuts. I mean, there's your proteins. Proteins come. Grains and sugars really, I mean, the grains, when we devitalized them, of course, then you saw a lot more bowel problems. And then, of course, the over mucus production of any concentrated food, and that goes along with proteins. The gluten part of grains and stuff. Whole grains, better. I mean, in looking in that way, still acidic. But when you really look at the damage and the to the kidneys, it's really down to the proteins, even if the beans and the excessive nuts. I've shown medical doctors this before who were in pain, and I took them out of pain, and then I gave them protein to show them they'll go right back into pain with protein. I did a medical doctor one time, ran a hospital in San Diego, and he just couldn't believe just a few nuts could cause his pain back when I got it out with fruit. It just was really, really woke him up to that because he had kidney deterioration here. But I agree with your point with the grains and the complex sugars. I think when we complexed everything, that's when we started having problems because our body's quite simple. And then we've talked about this before about the mono diets of vertebrates. Omnivores do tend to be a lot more omnivorish in terms of eating more, but your herbivores tend to have a very restricted diet, and so is your primates actually. But again, I'd like to consider us a more advanced species yet. So it's a here or there, really. I mean, one can play with that all you want, but the vegetarians of old did all the milks and just like you said, the grains and the things, but they also did a lot of beans and nuts, and they still do today. There's people traveling around talking about health and making a lot of dishes out of nuts. Well, nuts are great foods, but they're very concentrated great foods, and one shouldn't have too many. And I could eat a handful of pignolia or pine nuts like it was no tomorrow. But I'd put on weight doing it. I put on a lot of weight eating nuts. And so really concentrated foods.